On June 8th, roughly 2 months ago, a forum post was made. The Osu Almo tournament was announced for registrations for a solid 2 weeks. With it came 48 registered players, who all fought against each other. As a commentator, I got to see many different types of players, different playstyles, different people. Now, however, is slightly different. Only 3 people remain on this tournament, 2 of them sitting in Grand Finals losers, both guaranteed 3rd place, and 1 sole person waiting at the end of that match. Getting here alone is tough. Each player here had to go through each match against all sorts of players, and adapt accordingly. Yet they pulled through and are now sitting in the last frontier. They'll be sitting through long best of 13 matches, and the maps will be the hardest it's ever been. Welcome to Osu Almo Tournament Grand Finals! Alright, here we go!
Welcome everyone.
So that right there was, like, that was completely live. That was not pre-recorded whatsoever. But
Good.
I spent way too long on that, but here we are. So I guess now we can start off with, you know, the usual. With standard.
Right into the standard picks.
So first I have to actually find it. It always takes a little bit longer to actually get it started, but once we have started, it gets pretty comfortable.
Just starts flowing real nice.
Oh, okay, here we go. So the first map is Electric Love, and I forgot how loud this is. So this is considered the jump map, correct?
Yes, it's a fairly respectable 210 BPM. So it's like at the top of your comfort range, pretty much.
But yeah, again, it's mostly focused on the actual spacing of the objects, which is pretty high.
Yeah, some of these just the angles on these jumps are just really unorthodox sometimes.
Yeah, we got like some square jumps, I think. Like that one, yeah.
Yeah. This map is also loved, by the way, so some of you might know it from there.
Yeah, if you happen to play Loved often.
Yeah, it is fairly old.
I mean, how old are we talking?
Let me check. Let me get the precise data. It is from 2012. All right. Yeah, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's fairly old. I mean, yeah, there's some 2012 characteristics, but overall this is actually, like, I would have probably not guessed that it's from 2012. Like, sliders are probably the biggest giveaway, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And also some of, I guess, the odd angles again.
Also, like, the very, like, blatant symmetrical, but that's sort of seen nowadays in some gimmick maps.
Yeah, it's sort of like a niche.
Also, I just realized I put on the wrong skin. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I mean, this one's a good one as well.
Yeah, I enjoy using the skin quite a lot. Perhaps because of the fact that it's actually mine.
Oh, and a little stream there as well.
Yeah. And then moving into one last jump section.
And it just speeds up.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, yeah, it would be pretty impressive to see a full combo on this. Honestly, getting a full combo on any of these maps are, like, pretty challenging.
Yeah, generally in grand finals, like full combos are not gonna be easy to come by.
Like they
in any mode.
They are theoretically still possible. Like nothing stops you from actually getting it, but overall it's still pretty challenging.
Yeah, I do think this map in particular is probably the easiest to get good ack on.
Okay, the second map, which is the Technic. I forgot to change the skin. Whatever.
We're just rolling with this one.
Yes.
So this map is a classic. It's good old Axion. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Axion by oh man, I forgot the artist, but like good artist. That's just all I remember.
Wait, let me try. I mean, this is 160 BPM, so it's on the slower side, which means that you're gonna see a lot of those really sort of tricky spacing and cut up streams. Sakuzio, that's the artist.
Ah, yeah. But I feel like this is a huge pain to full combo, especially with Score V2.
Yeah, the sliders especially are probably going to be really difficult to hack.
There are a lot of difficult sections for like sliders. And then if that wasn't enough, we have the actual I cannot say this word. Readability aspect of the whole song, because the rhythms are like very obscure, so I feel like it requires a decent amount of finger control and just general reading ability.
Oh, and that space stream. That is gonna be real tough.
Yeah. And then a calm part.
So generally with this pool, it's gonna, for each mode there's gonna be just one person who is just nope. Like, we're not gonna be able to play it.
And that is it for Axion. The next pick is one that is quite intimidating. And by quite intimidating, yeah, we mean Freedom Dive Metal Dimensions.
Yes, Metal Dimensions. The slightly slower remix.
Slightly. 211 BPM to be specific.
Yeah, it's still pretty high. For streams at least. And yeah, as you would expect from Freedom Dive, this is a stream map, and of course it's gonna be pretty dense. If you know the song, you know exactly at what points it's gonna get pretty dense as well. Yeah, the standard pool used to be actually even harder than this, but we nerfed it.
The good old nerf.
Yeah. But we did actually have a pretty strong standard player move on to grand finals, so that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine how pog it would be if we were seeing a full combo on a 3-minute 20, like a 3-minute 20-second map consisting of fairly spaced streams. I mean, not the most spaced, but nothing to sweat at.
Yeah, like, we're not even halfway through and we're already at 800 combo. It is also the longest standard pick.
Yeah. honest. I kind of assume that this is gonna be the ban for people who don't want to play standard.
Yeah, especially since it's just so stamina draining as well.
Exactly. I mean, even if you have the stamina capabilities, you need also the consistency of playing standard for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because at least with Electric Love, like the first one, it's only slightly shorter.
The spacing on the streams themselves seems to be pretty tame, so the main difficulty about that is just going to be tapping right.
And then a very sudden key change into the final chorus.
Yes, and the long stream as well.
Yeah, so hope your stream game is up to par. This stream especially is so chokeable. You could easily lose all of your HP just from that. Like, jeez. Also, just gonna change my skin real quick. Skin.
Yeah, reminder to do that.
Boom, bam. Okay, cool. Alright, cool.
Bada bop, boom, pow.
Bada bum, boom, pow. Oh. Okay,
Alright,
so.
moving on to the Tyco maps.
Wait, why are they not labeled correctly? Excuse me.
Oh,
never mind. Okay, I guess.
Some of them are.
I guess the search just felt like not working, but there you go. So apparently this is actually a nerfed difficulty.
Yeah. And you will be thankful that it is. So this is Hug and Kill, the nerf difficulty.
There you go.
And so the top difficulty of this is a 360 BPM speed map, but the nerf version actually has really nice patterns which make it basically like not speed at all. Like you couldn't recognize this as speed anymore. And it's basically, this is what I would call the variety pick. It plays like 180 BPM and has a fair bit of 1/6 in it, as well as some rare 1/8 as well. And yeah, you have these really tricky even streams. I think most of these are even, as well as the slider at the end of that little tiny stream. It's not that hard to hit, especially with Scovy 2. It actually gets easier with Scovy 2 to hit that slider. And then you have the first chorus, which throws in the first 1/8 bursts, as well as some 1/6 as well.
I looked over it. This is actually a Cabario song, so
yeah,
that's why it has
definitely hear that.
That's why it has such a distinct style.
Yeah, it is a very good song, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a good pick.
And here you have another, pretty much like a repetition of the first part that was like this, but the patterns are different. The 1/6 patterns. So you just need to be able to read that confidently. And also don't sleep on the finishers at the end of 1/4, because if you you gotta hit those if you want those extra points. I would say that this is, in my opinion, the easiest of the Taiko picks.
Oh boy.
Which is why I got this replay.
In terms of star rating though, it's like kind of in the middle.
Yeah, it is fairly raw star rating though. Like it is not underrated or overrated. And this is the second chorus, which gets a lot more dance
Also pretty fast reading wise.
Yeah.
In fact, this is so fast that I'm actually noticing just a tiny bit of, what is it called? Like, oh my god, screen tear, yes, thank you.
And
just
yeah,
a little bit.
the scroll speed ramps up a lot as well on that section, even though it's like, it's not very noticeable. It's not even like 180 BPM hard rock, it's somewhere in the middle. And a long stream at the end, which has fairly simple patterns.
And there you go.
Yep.
The next Tyco pick is, well, yeah, this is considered the speed pick, and is by far the highest star rating, so, if that doesn't scare you, here's the map.
Yeah, speed picks usually tend to have a bit of a higher star rating than the others, just because the speed just, I wouldn't say inflates it, but just makes it a higher star rating. This is 280 BPM, at least for the main part. And yeah, like, I probably couldn't play this, but Jarvis told me it was doable, so I trust him. And you can already see the 1/4 starting to come in. And at this point it might still be 1/8. I'm not sure.
Ooh, these are...
And yeah, then it just goes straight into it.
That 280 BPM stream though.
Yep, it's just genuine 280 BPM. Like, the patterns are super simple, but hitting them is not easy. Like, single tapping this would probably be a pretty tough challenge.
It would be. You would have to single tap 140 BPM.
Yes,
I mean 140 BPM streams with like one finger. That's not exactly easy. That's slightly faster than the Lost Dedicated.
Yeah. But yeah, again, overall the patterns are pretty simple, and that, like, this is also, I think, a pretty long map as well. It's over 3 minutes just, so the stamina is probably gonna start wearing on you as well.
So in a sense, this can also be considered the stamina pick.
I was going to put it as that as well, but I don't think it's enough to call it stamina. It is mainly speed.
Yeah, because it doesn't meet the required 300 BPM.
Yeah, I had a map before this that was speed stamina, and it was actually 276 BPM, but had much longer streams, and it was all around not very fun. Fun to look at, but not to play.
Fair enough.
So yeah, this map basically, either you can play it or you can't, really.
And now for the last Tyco pick is, yeah, this one's considered tech, and is the shortest of the Tyco maps.
Yes, as well as the lowest star rated map.
You know it's gonna be tech because it starts out really slow.
Yeah, this is 150 BPM. It has a lot of 1/6 and 1/8, like a lot. was originally going to be Shunyata, but yes, we decided not to. I decided not to. So yeah, the beginning is fairly calm, but then you start getting some of the more tricky patterns in, which are very tough to act, by the way. So after that calm section, you start to get into the slightly more dense section, even though it's like spread out density.
Oh great, look at how slow this is.
Yeah. Yeah, man, 150 BPM, it's slow. What a slow map. But yeah, you have your fair share of 1/8 and 1/6 in here. Probably like an equal amount of both. And then the ending part with Frozen, several 1/6 as well into 1/4 streams, as well as offhand 1/6 as well, and a long 1/6 stream, which you'll be seeing one more time later on.
Up next is now Catch, so we'll be doing that now.
Yeah. The catch pull last round was already hard, but it got harder.
So this very first song I actually already recognize, and like as soon as I heard it, I also recognized the background, and that's because, well, it's Messier 353.
Yes, this is, I think this is probably the hardest catch map from what I've heard in this pool. It is very tricky. It's classified as stream/tech, and you can see the stream part of it at least.
Certainly.
And of course, the streams being just cut up in very small spacings, but noticeable spacings, so you have to just dash for really short distances.
And for the most part, because it's like fairly stream heavy, Catch's HP system is extremely strict. And well, yeah, if you miss like 4 notes or more, I think that's like you're already dead at that point.
Yeah. Which, like, in this tournament doesn't really matter, but still, you're gonna lose some points.
Also, did you like those that really spaced stream?
Yeah, that was nice. Just a good old hold left. Oh man, that 1/3 section is tricky.
I especially remember the last section of the song being the most technical. And then it sort of like, it builds, like, you know, after this section it kind of builds down, but it still has those technical sounding samples, so the difficulty doesn't really get reduced, even though it sounds calmer. And now for the next pick is this is considered the jump map, and well, it's a reversible doll. did you die? Sparks. I think he's no longer with us.
Oh, I've been muted this whole time.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh man. I wonder how long. Well, this is Reversible Doll. I know the song. And yeah, this is you can definitely see the jumps. It's also fairly high approach rate from the looks of it. Like it looks over 9 at least. And it's also unsubmitted, so I can check the actual approach rate.
Oh yeah, right. So that shouldn't really matter whatsoever. Like when the actual match will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the jumps on this are pretty spaced, and I think this was pretty quick. Yeah, it was 225 BPM, so the jumps are pretty quick.
I feel like the whole thing about missing and you're out. I think that's just this catch pull in general, if you ask me.
Yeah. On the jump maps though, especially, since like if you miss one, you're gonna miss the hyper dash, so you're not gonna be able to catch up to a lot of the other ones.
Meanwhile, in something like Stream, it's like it is possible, but are you actually good enough to do that in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the remaining players are gonna have a lot of fun with this pool.
Just ban the entire catch pool.
Yes. And like star rating wise, it's not even that much harder than the other pool. It almost just stayed the same. Like gameplay wise, you can definitely tell the difference. And yeah, this last section especially, just one miss and you're gonna miss a lot.
The last miss could have been like a lot worse.
Yeah, I do feel like you could, you could also get a pretty fluky score there.
Oh, come on! Okay, there you go. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but okay, I'm back now.
Oh man.
So the last catch map is another Stream Tech. This is the same exact category.
Yeah, it's. That is true. I didn't notice that. Okay, this is Tech. This is another meme song by our favorite artist. And yeah, this is Tech. If you know the song, you probably know why it's Tech. It does have quite a few of these long droplet slider things at the start as well, which you do see a lot in Tech maps. And again, some just odd spacings in general, as well as just the hectic rhythm of the song.
Also, I just want to ask real quick. I'm only seeing people who've made the map pool and not actual players. Is it just me?
Yeah, that is actually true. I think Jan was in here earlier. Well, anyway. So, we're coming up to the first half done in this map. I believe this is the calm section again. I mean, yeah, as calm as this can get.
Also Rip SS.
Yeah. And yeah, like the streams in this are definitely the hardest at the end. Oh, nice triple at the end there.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, the... oh boy, the last pool. Well, now we have Mania, and, well, I actually have prepared something a little extra, not just on the Osu tournament client. We can just turn that off, because I have actually prepared a video showcasing all of it. So yeah, please take a look. This is the first map, Into the Zone, and it's, in my opinion, the easiest map. Though, despite that, it's actually still tricky if you're not good at jacks. And it's especially very stamina draining, surprisingly. The tech category is somewhat of more of a secondary term, in my opinion. It mainly stems from like the last sections of both jack sections. So at first this is just pure core jacks. Okay, that should be fixed. But yeah, for the most part this is definitely pretty easy to hack, but this is extremely, like, it can really destroy your hands, definitely. The tech section is sort of upcoming, and you will be able to see a lot of bursts. It first starts with a one-hand trill, and then we get all sorts of funky streams, a little bit of trills, and for the... though they aren't actually that hard to hit. And then now on the second half, it actually gets a little harder because each 5-note stream has been transferred to a one-hand trill. Then we got very easy long note. It shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. But then, as we're moving to the second chorus, it's mostly the same, actually, except the last section is especially difficult, and I'll get to that when we get there. But for now, you will just have to enjoy pretty much the same section. But instead of having like one hand, or I mean, yeah, there's still one-hand trills, but now you're actually dealing with a quad because of the pounding sort of snare that you hear every measure. And so you're actually dealing with some 1/8 mini jacks, like into rolls, out of rolls, and all sorts of fun patterns. The second song is Offered Eruption, originally from Guitar Hero. It was like a custom chart made for it, but this is pretty much a dump map. And if you don't know what that means, it means it kind of exaggerates the patterns a bit. And yeah, this is the first section is slightly awkward, but it's mostly easy compared to everything else. It's really just a warm-up. There are a few mini jacks on the second half, and then we get a fun burst. This one right here, which is very, very fun pattern actually. And then we have the actual speed section, which you get introduced to right here. This is every eighth note has a jump or 2 notes at once. Then we move into this calm section, which, well, it's calm. It's very easy. And in the original song, there's actually what's called solo strumming on this section right here, but I decided to opt for just fairly standard 160 BPM jump stream because, well, there was no way for me to make 320 BPM calm, even if I laid it out in a fairly straightforward pattern. And then we get a fairly fun slow jam section right here. So as you can see, it just gets slower. It's fairly tricky to get an SS on. It's still very doable though. I can't do it though. And then we get a speed up and into more 320 BPM streams. A roll that's 240 BPM streams. Like, this is completely loose streams. There aren't any, like, sort of doubles. We have this anchory pattern at 240 BPM, which is almost guaranteed to make you miss. Then we have the hardest section right here, which is just continuous 320 BPM streams. And some very awkward transitions with almost like the mash patterns. And then we have that incredibly dense section. And after that, it's pretty much over. Except there's one little section waiting at the very end, which shouldn't be a challenge, but weirdly kind of is. And that is the full Ellen. We have actual full Ellen now. It's really easy, but it's full Ellen. And with Score V2, it's even more challenging. I could have chosen an actual Ellen map, but I decided to not do that, but still throw this in here, just for fun. As long as you have good finger control, you should be able to do it. There's also slowdown right at the end, which I slightly mess up, hold a bit too early, and break my 98%. Remember 1950? Here's its younger brother. 1949 is the first and only stamina map featuring fairly severe, like, stutter SVs and really brutal patterns. This is definitely the hardest map of them all. And yeah, for the most part, you get a variety of patterns. Here, this chord jack section actually can be converted into binary, and if you do, it's the first, second, and third letters spell out D-I-E respectively, which I think fits pretty well with the song. Also, nice. Sudden teleport SV. And reminder that if you take too long to hold, like well after it's gone, you actually break, so you have to release. I mean, you generally want to do that for the act, but here you're pretty much forced, so I feel like this is one of those maps. I didn't really want to go too over the top with the SVs, so I wanted to make sure that, you know, after 1 or 2 attempts, that you should be able to kind of nail down the SVs. These are actual LNs. And, I think you count to 7, that's how I actually release it. And then the final section, which features dense 220 BPM streams with a bit of LN, a bit of SV, a bit of everything, really. And that's it. So now we're back to
That's Mania with Amic.
Yep. And me pretty much blowing out all the production value that I could.
And, well, moving on to the most unorthodox playstyles and mini modes of Osu, the extra bracket.
Starting off with
Tenki.
I hope it's displaying correctly. Yeah, it is.
So this map, it's basically very similar to the last map, but this one is a level 16. So yeah, it's gonna basically just. I don't actually know what makes it that much harder. I think it's just harder 4-key patterns as well as more usage of the outer 4 columns. But you do still have some 4-key and 6-key sections in there. And you didn't have those trills, which, you just need that speed. There's no way to really... I mean, I guess you could maybe cheese them a bit, but it would probably cost a bit of accuracy. Overall, I do think this is, it is a pretty fun map to play, in my opinion. And you have another little 6-key section here. So overall, like, out of all the songs, this one probably has, like, the scariest song preview. Like, the song preview to this is just so violent. Also, they had some Pinky and Ring alternating parts there, which are really tricky to hit, especially since they're long notes.
Yeah, like who uses their pinky?
Yeah. Overall, this map actually doesn't have that much Pinky at all.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite... Oh wait, give me a moment. Excuse me. Okay, there it is. Everyone's favorite dodge the beat. And this is as hard as we can get.
Yes, the last dodge the beat map. I'm gonna miss it.
Wait, why is this sampling... Why is this sampling, I forgot the song name. But, yeah, it's... Hey, Sparks, did you die again?
Hello? Okay, I'm alive.
Alright, cool.
What did you ask?
I asked if you were alive.
Oh, that's... yeah. I am now.
Yeah, but from what we can tell...
This seems really dense.
Yeah, this is really dense. That's exactly how I was going to describe it.
It reminds me of Alien, but the gaps are just really a lot smaller and tighter. Like even the straight gaps that you just sort of weave through. Like these.
I think getting even under 10k is pretty impressive, but it's already like... because of just how dense everything is.
This song is also pretty intense as well.
Yeah. The
Overall, I think this extra pull is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, this
especially with this autopilot map.
Yeah, now we have, sitting at a comfortable 270 BPM, we have, well, Mad Machine.
Very comfortable. Oh man, I can...
Oh, that distortion though.
I cannot wait to see how people choose to play this.
You'd be like, no.
Because it's definitely not very tricky.
Hey Sparks, did you die again?
Oh, did I?
You like randomly cut out?
Hello? Oh boy. Okay, I'm back. No? Okay.
Yeah, but as you can see, fun autopilot map.
Yes, very. So yeah, again, I am interested to see how people will play this. I think some people might opt to two hands here.
Probably. I mean, that's what I would do for the most part. Because trying to one-hand trill 270 BPM accurately is fairly hard.
Yeah, even if you're a pretty good standard player.
I suppose you could also go for tap X if you're skilled enough to actually utilize. You can do spacebar with two hands. Yes.
I wonder if you could do like mouse keys as well.
I mean, you could rebind if your mouse is compatible. Oh right, I forgot. It's just straight up called Cursed Tyco. But yeah, with Cursed Tyco, we got. So might want to explain this one? Of course, Sparks just kind of.
Dang, my turn dying. Alright, I think I should be good.
He keeps phasing in and out of reality.
Yeah, it's the grand finals effect. So this map. Let's see, what is this map? What even is this map? It's yeah. So this map is a lot harder in pattern-wise than the other Cursed Tycos, because at this point, like, you should have at least some sort of Tyco skill. So yeah, and the main difficulty here comes with the SV pretty much.
Like that roll right there. If you don't hit it, you're gonna miss because of Scorby 2.
Yeah. Definitely knowing the song helps a lot. This part is actually really fun to play once you learn it. Whole map, actually.
I forgot that it should be just a pinch louder. There you go.
Also, I was gonna make like the Cursed Taiko for Grand Finals, like insane gimmicks and that kind of stuff, but it wouldn't really work that well with Scorby 2, unfortunately. But this is still pretty good.
A bit of showing off.
Yeah.
It's also a pretty lengthy song. In fact, it's literally tiebreaker length. This is 4 minutes and 2 seconds, so I guess in that regard it's also cursed.
This is actually one of the shorter ones that I could find. All the other ones were just so long.
7-hour marathon, let's go.
Yeah. Relation.
I also couldn't have a 5-minute tiebreaker from finals. It was originally going to be Wheel of Llama on on like the default rate.
Yeah. So basically the second half of the song is pretty similar to the first half. It does have a little bit of a slow section. Which I guess some people want a low SV, so here they have it.
You see, a general requirement I have is for me to actually be able to play So We Love Llama 1.2 is something that I can barely play. Like, I think at best I got like a 93 on it. And that's without Scorby too, so...
Also, I know there was some confusion last week about mods on the cursed Taiko. It's still free mod, but keep in mind that on the leaderboards there's a single modded FC of this. So just keep that in mind.
Also, I should mention real quick that the finals tiebreaker was Cyber on 1.1 rate, which was pretty much the equivalent song, both like song choice and just, you know, in general the same sort of mapping, except not really. But now we have super long tiebreakers, so let's crack each one, starting with standard.
Yes. So the standard tiebreaker is a pretty nice song. It's Noel. Is it the long version? I think it's the long version.
It is.
Yeah, okay. And this is... all of the tiebreakers are a very similar speed, actually. They're all around 210, 220 BPM, except for maybe yours.
Yep, mine is far slower. Which
Yeah,
totally...
so this map itself is pretty beefy when it comes to stamina and patterns. It's a fairly overall map, but I think its streams are some of its main difficulty. At least I think so. I mean, from the song I remember, it's a pretty streamy song. It is still a pretty well-rounded map. It has different sorts of snappings as well as distances as well.
Especially with those doublets right after the sliders.
Yeah. Those can get kind of tricky to read. As well as the space 1/3.
I feel like it's one of those things that shouldn't be hard, but they kind of are at the same time.
Yeah. So yeah, with the tiebreakers, basically, FCs aren't really gonna be that much of a thing anymore. So it's really just about beating out your opponent and trying to score as much as possible. Oh man, those jumps were kind of tricky. With the triples at the end, reminded me of New. And yeah, this map is around 6.8 stars. And it doesn't look very inflated.
But you see, how many here can play catch? That's the real question.
You know, on the catch tiebreaker leaderboards, I didn't see any FCs. The highest was like 11 miss.
Also, I just looked. Yeah, that's a Pug song right there.
Yeah, it is. I think the song might start to pick up a lot of the end. Yeah, as these tend to do.
I mean, it's fairly calm right now. But yeah, it looks like there's one more section. Just sort of building up.
Oh yeah, I think I remember there being like a really, I mean, in the song at least, a really fast section with a lot of 1/6. I wonder what this map does with that. Oh, there it is. It just throws in a bunch of those really fast repeat sliders.
Also, Bell.
Bell.
Bell! Now the next tiebreaker map over at the Tyco section is Siva.
Yes. Oh man, this went through so much. But yes, this is it. This is the Taiko tiebreaker at a whopping 7.2 stars.
2-9.
It is a little bit inflated because of the 1/6 in it, but well, actually, the remaining players seem to be pretty good at Taiko, so it works out. And yeah, so this map is really tricky on the snappings at some points. Yeah, like it changes from 1/3 to 1/4 to 1/6 really quickly at some points. As well as having some long streams scattered in as well. So it really tests your overall control, as well as there being some tricky SVs, which are side readable, but it helps to know that they're there. So this map has just a bit of everything. It has even patterns, has finishers, and it has choke points.
I feel like this entire map is a choke if you ask me. Like, especially some of these streams, they're so brutal.
Definitely not fast at all. They have very tricky patterns. It is definitely, I would say it's actually also a reading challenge, just because of how tricky some of the patterns become. I would not call this foreseeable. Just because #1 Australia kid doesn't mean everyone can. Yeah, this one, Jai helped me out a lot here.
I mean, if you ask me though, I don't know if it's just because I'm bad or if it's just because it's that difficult, but I feel like the least likely to be FC'd is definitely the tiebreaker for Mania. The amount of
For Mania overall, FCing is sort of not really something you aim for.
No, it's more of just, I hope I get decent at.
Especially since combo probably matters the least in Mania.
I mean, yeah. It still matters though.
Yeah, it's like similar to Taiko.
I would say Tyco matters a bit more.
Yeah.
then yeah, that's pretty much it. Very clean FC, but that's definitely not working a C.
Yeah, it is a very tough map.
Now, as for like catch, we have a very, very special song that I'm pretty sure everyone knows. That's right.
Oh man.
It's everyone's favorite kick-ass kung fu carnival.
Okay, so for this, do not let the star rating fool you. This is a lot harder than 6.4 stars.
This is also a really old map,
yeah,
isn't it?
I think so. The pro trade is low. Like, it's very low.
Yeah, it's very low, so I mean, it at least won't be too fast.
Yeah, I guess you can at least read it. Oh man, that's a long slider.
Yeah, it really is.
Some of the snappings on these, I mean, some of the distance snappings on these look really tricky to hit. This is like 222 BPM, right?
Yeah, and it apparently has quite a lot of pixel jumps, which, yeah, basically means the fact that it's really precise. It's just before hyper dash, so it's extremely precise.
Yeah.
So this map is actually a little harder than what it looks.
Yeah, it's got a fair bit of just cross-screen jumps and that kind of stuff.
So apparently this is the easy bit, so who's playing this? Actually, I just realized this is the only replay that doesn't have a name. So I don't know.
Oh man, it will forever be a mystery. Shire, that's one.
Yeah, that's a very easy section to just break your combo on.
Oh man.
It's fairly precise, and you actually have to jump on off beats, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, you have to jump on the blue ticks.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not, you can't just, you have to put a bit more mental thought into
That
it.
part is very tricky as well.
And some very easy sliders. At least I hope they're called sliders.
They seem kind of like bouncy. I think people might be able to drop some ack on that, and also nice trill.
I mean, it really, yeah, that's a trill and a half, but I feel like comparatively that's like super easy. It doesn't even matter.
Actually, wait, no, those are called wiggles in catch.
Are they seriously called wiggles?
I think so.
Can I get some confirmation?
They seem pretty wiggly.
Fun break.
Wiggle boys, that's the professional term.
Wiggle boys. Oh. It's kind of like calling, okay, is it like calling...
It's like schlongs.
Yeah, schlongs, I was about to say that. It's calling long notes schlongs instead.
Yes. If you know what that means, good. If you don't, then I'm sorry.
It's basically a euphemism for, no, I mean...
Short long notes is what it stands for. But anyway, this map, there was another small trill there, which I think is pretty. Oh man, yeah, there's more.
Yeah, of course there is. There's always more.
Dude.
And yeah, good luck FCing this section, or even HP passing this.
This is definitely gonna be just a score battle.
And now, we have the Mania tiebreaker, which again, I've specially prepared. So, well,
Alright,
I suppose we can get to that. So, please, take a look. Here we go with, oh, I forgot how loud this is, holy shit. Yeah, this is, Sansless 4. The real Sansless 4. As teased, it starts off with everyone's favorite full moon night. Because I thought this was the most appropriate thing to put as a tiebreaker. Except not really, it just kind of cuts to a completely different song by, it's by Hyper Potions. I believe the song name is Summer, if I recall correctly. And, this section is not at all challenging whatsoever. Yet, despite that, there's a miss, but just kind of ignore that. And then now we're going to move into the chorus of the song, which will definitely show you why this is the tiebreaker. This is much harder than the actual Grand Finals bracket, as it focuses heavily on the speed. And there's actually a jump on every melody as well as every burst of a hi-hat. I was originally planning to actually make it like a complete mash, but I decided not to opt for that. So instead we get like a very sort of dumpy section filled with very, very fast streams. And then we move into a complete chord jack section, which at this point it's a bit tiring, but you have to do this for a very long time, and it gets incredibly stamina draining. So you still have to do it, and it really is draining on your hands. Like, for you to keep up, you really need to be warmed up, I feel. This is technically FCable, but, like, it's really hard. And I don't think... I mean, doing that on command is pretty hard. This is technically 310 BPM one-hand trills, but they're really short, so... And even then, you could just cheese it easily. And then now we can move into a somewhat technical section of the song. This is transitions into a different song called Surf. So transitions from Summer to Surf by the same artist. So yeah, as you can see, we have a mix of hands and like, it's a mix of 1/6 and 1/4 with a bunch of hands and doubles sprinkled in to keep you on your toes. And there's also like the occasional long one-hand trill. Almost, I would almost say that as like a one-hand trill anchor. These are really fast streams. This is actually around 400 BPM. Mania tiebreaker. Tiebreaker is not free mod whatsoever, I think.
Yeah, the Mania one is.
Oh, never mind then.
The visuals.
Okay, well, yeah. And then we have a fun jack section. Which actually is really... I really like this section a lot. And you have to kind of get used to the long notes, because if you... Again, if you release them too early or too late, you're going to miss. And, but after that, that's actually the whole thing, so... there's just a really easy full LN section coming up ahead. And, remember when I said that... Remember when I teased Blastix Riots as being part of, the pools? Well, here it is. And that is pretty much it. So to you all, thank you for watching, and I really, really wish you all good luck with Grand Finals. It's not gonna be Like, it's gonna be really hard, but, oh, why does it
It's not
loop?
gonna be easy. You'll definitely need it.
So that is, that's the entire Grand Finals pool. That is the last showcase.
It's the last time you'll be seeing us.
Oh no. I mean, I will be commentating, so,
Yeah, and maybe we'll have a little bit of a thing at the end.
So, I suppose before we go off, I should, like, credit everyone who has sort of helped along the way. So, in terms of... One moment, I just need to quickly pull this up. So, to, wait. Yeah. First of all, obviously thank you to Sparks for hosting this tournament. He's been the person who's really pushed it and made sure that everything is organized. In terms of commentators, Sparks once again, me, like yours truly, Captain Ichan, Binsu, and Cherno have all contributed for commentating. In terms of streamers, there is I Totally Get That, me, and I think Pinglaw as well. For referees, we have Sparks, GD Lenny, Ilian, wait, how do you say his name? Ilinon, Nut and Go, Hersey, Su, Basatu, Chenny, Pinglaw, Solidoror, and Likelihood. In terms of Mappool selectors, we have Chenny for the Osu, Sparks for Taiko, and Lei with Catch, and then finally me with Mania. Obviously, there's also like the mini, like or how do I say this? The extras pool,
extra pool,
which is sort of a mix.
Jarvis helped a lot with.
Yeah.
And you should definitely check out his Dodge the Beat maps.
Special thanks to Jarvis, Lei, Chenny, No Name Ghost, Orchid, and Dada. And also, I would like to thank specifically Spartan for providing me with replays for finals, and also making sure that finals and grand finals was balanced.
Yeah, I would also like to thank Jay, Deku, and Fuel for helping me with Taiko replays, as well as some feedback on the pool.
And last but not least, thank you to everyone who actually participated. I'll not list all the names, but all 48 of you who've participated, you've really made this tournament into a reality, because what's a tournament without its players?
Definitely.
So...
And I definitely can't wait for the grand finals.
And, well, yeah, now it's just a matter of practice. We'll be supplying the download links as usual soon, and yeah, this is like pretty much next week's gonna be the last week.
Yep.
In what way in what way are you saying unfair?
it just always is.
Is Mania 2 OP or too weak?
Oh yeah, shout out to One Key.
Shout out
Never
to One
forget.
Key. Never forget. As well as 7 Key.
Yeah, they get sacrificed for the greater good.
Anyways, we're gonna head off now.
Yep, so good. Have good luck practicing.
Yeah, good luck practicing. Yeah, laters. And even if you didn't make it to grand finals, you can still grab these maps. They're pretty good maps. Anyways, see you. Laters.
Bye.